Is the Mahabharata a myth, or is it a historical account of our past? For centuries, this question has captivated scholars, devotees, and skeptics alike. The epic, with its grand battles, intricate philosophies, and complex characters, has been the bedrock of Indian culture. But is there any tangible proof that these events truly unfolded? Today, we journey from the depths of the ocean to the ancient battlefields of India. We will explore the archaeological, geological, and astronomical evidence that suggests the Mahabharata might be more than just a story. Let's begin with one of the most iconic cities mentioned in the epic, the magnificent city of Dwarka. The Mahabharata describes Dwarka as a fortified city built on the coast, a grand kingdom ruled by Krishna himself. According to the texts, after Krishna's departure from the world, the city of Dwarka was reclaimed by the sea. This vivid description of a submerged city was long thought to be a poetic metaphor, a part of the epic's mythology. However, in the late 20th century, the Marine Archaeology Unit of India's National Institute of Oceanography made a startling discovery. While conducting surveys off the coast of modern-day Dwarka in Gujarat, they found something extraordinary. Submerged in the Arabian Sea, they uncovered the remains of a fortified city. Divers found well-laid-out structures, massive stone walls, and remnants of what appeared to be a bustling port. These underwater ruins were found at a depth of about 40 meters. The layout of the submerged city, with its clear fortifications and plan design, bore a striking resemblance to the descriptions of Dwarka in the Mahabharata and other ancient texts like the Haravamsa. Artifacts recovered from the site included stone anchors, pottery, and beads. The discovery of these objects suggests that this was a prosperous port city, a hub of maritime trade and activity, just as Dwarka was described to be. The sheer scale of the discovery was breathtaking. It wasn't just a few scattered stones, it was the layout of an entire settlement, preserved for millennia beneath the waves. This finding forced historians and archaeologists to reconsider their stance. Could this be the legendary city of Krishna, swallowed by the ocean as the epic had foretold? While the debate continues, the discovery of a submerged city that matches the location and description of Dwarka provides a powerful piece of physical evidence. It suggests that the ancient tales might be rooted in a genuine historical reality. Now, let's travel from the submerged city of Dwarka to the plains of Kurukshetra, the very ground where the epic's climactic battle was fought. Located in the modern state of Haryana, Kurukshetra is described as the site of the 18-day war between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. For a long time, the lack of direct archaeological evidence from the battle itself was a major point for skeptics. But recent findings have started to paint a different picture. Archaeological excavations in and around the Kurukshetra region have unearthed artifacts that could be linked to the Mahabharata period. Excavations at sites like Bhagwanpura have revealed a fascinating overlap of cultures. At these sites, archaeologists found a sequence where the late Harappan culture was succeeded by a culture known for using painted grey-ware pottery. This specific type of pottery is significant because it is often associated with the period in which the Mahabharata is believed to have taken place. Painted grey-ware is a very fine, smooth, and distinct style of pottery, and its presence across the Gangetic Plains coincides with the geographical locations described in the epic. It provides a cultural backdrop for the events of the Mahabharata. Furthermore, iron objects, including arrowheads and spearheads, have been found in the Kurukshetra region. These artifacts have been scientifically dated, and their age aligns with the proposed timeline of the Mahabharata war. Carbon dating of these artifacts places them around 1000 to 1200 BCE, a time frame that many scholars believe is consistent with the Mahabharata era. This provides tangible proof of a warrior culture existing in that specific location during that specific time. Imagine holding an arrowhead that could have been used on the very battlefield described in the epic. While we can't definitively say it was from the Mahabharata war, its existence supports the idea that the epic describes a real historical context. The evidence is not just a single artifact but a collection of findings that, when pieced together, create a compelling mosaic of a society that mirrors the world of the Mahabharata. Beyond archaeology and geology, there is another fascinating field that offers clues: astronomy. The Mahabharata is filled with detailed astronomical observations. The texts describe specific planetary alignments, solar and lunar eclipses, and the positions of constellations that occurred before, during, and after the Great War. These were not just poetic descriptions, they were precise astronomical data points. For example, the epic mentions a series of ill omens and specific planetary conjunctions that preceded the conflict. It speaks of a lunar eclipse followed by a solar eclipse in close succession, an event considered highly unusual and inauspicious. Scholars and astronomers have used modern planetarium software to backtrack the celestial movements and see if these described events actually occurred. By entering the astronomical data from the text, they can search for a date that matches all the descriptions. Amazingly, several researchers, using different verses and methods, have arrived at remarkably consistent timelines. Many of these studies point to dates in the 4th millennium BCE for the war. One of the most widely discussed analyses, conducted by Dr. Narahari, a physicist, focused on the sequential astronomical references in the Udyoga and Bhishma Parvas of the epic. By simulating the ancient skies, his research concluded that all the planetary positions described in the Mahabharata perfectly aligned in the year 3067 BCE. This includes the rare sequence of eclipses mentioned in the text. Another significant astronomical event mentioned is the passing of the great warrior Bhishma. The text states that he waited for the auspicious moment of Uttarayana, the winter solstice, to leave his mortal body. The astronomical data provided in the epic about Bhishma's weight on his bed of arrows also aligns with the celestial events of the same period. The consistency of these astronomical markers is hard to dismiss as mere coincidence. The fact that ancient poets would have the knowledge to fabricate such a complex and consistent set of astronomical data is highly unlikely. It's more plausible that they were recording events they, or their ancestors, had actually witnessed. So, when we combine the evidence, a compelling narrative emerges. We have a submerged city, Dwarka, found exactly where the epic said it would be. We have archaeological findings from Kurukshetra, like painted greyware and iron weaponry, that date back to the very period the war is said to have occurred. And we have complex astronomical data woven into the text, which, when analyzed with modern technology, points to a specific and consistent timeline for these events. Each piece of evidence on its own might be debatable, but taken together, they form a powerful argument for the historical reality of the Mahabharata. It suggests that the epic is not just a work of fiction but an embellished historical narrative, a itihasa, which translates to thus it was. It's a story rooted in the real events of a distant, ancient past. The scale of the events may have been grandly embellished over centuries of oral tradition, but the core story of a great conflict and the society around it appears to be based on truth. The journey to uncover the full truth of the Mahabharata is ongoing. New discoveries are being made, and new technologies are allowing us to analyze ancient evidence with greater precision than ever before. What we once considered myth is slowly revealing its historical roots, bridging the gap between epic poetry and factual history. The Mahabharata continues to be a profound source of spiritual wisdom, and now, it is also emerging as a window into our own ancient past. Thank you for joining us on this exploration. If you found this journey through history and archaeology fascinating, be sure to subscribe to Sanatan Puranas for more deep dives into the stories and truths of our ancient heritage.